I was like, have you lost your mind? I'm not leaving my job to go to a castle in Inverness with like 20 odd strangers.
It tastes a bit like I've got some Savlon.
I hope there's no Savlon in there.
I knew it was the mankini, and I just thought that's the way it has to be.
Yeah. And hopefully want to take one of them out. No?
Proper traitors.
Right. Hello, welcome to Table for Four. I'm Mathew Horne.
And I'm Joanna Page.
Each episode we will be chatting to famous celebrity duos to delve into their relationship over a slap-up meal.
And today we have got 2 stars from the 3rd series of The Traitors.
Yes.
Minah, Shannon and Freddie, Fraser. Come on guys, come in.
Hi guys!
Oh, lovely to meet you.
Hi, Minah. How's it going?
Yeah.
You all right?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming on.
Let's sit down. Now, we normally start these things with a sort of aperitif.
Oh yes, we
So
do.
Sam, in a second, chef and just general lackey, is going to bring in some delicious drinks.
How exciting.
Yeah, what sort of drinks do you like then?
Well, are we talking non-alcoholic,
Well,
alcoholic?
you can do both.
Okay, well, for me, if it's alcoholic, it has to be a Tommy's margarita.
Knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
Every
Tommy's
time we go
margarita.
It
out.
is my
Now, the difference is that's with
favourite.
mezcal, right? Rather than tequila.
No, it's tequila, but I think the difference is instead of Cointreau, you use agave syrup.
Okay.
Now, not to sound like an expert, but I actually have got it
you have
tattooed
got-
on me.
Well, the recipe.
No, not the recipe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there it is. My Tommy's
is
margarita.
amazing.
Yeah, me and my husband went to Bilbao last year and we went to a tattoo shop and we were like, let's do it.
Did he have the same one?
Yeah,
as
the
well?
exact same one in the exact same
But
place.
why the story to that then? What is so special about a margarita, Tommy's margarita, for the pair of you?
Specifically the Tommy's one. We had a restaurant years ago and we started drinking Tommy's margaritas and it's just our favourite drink. So when we go out, if we're feeling like we're having a good night, we'll
Yeah.
each get a Tommy's margarita.
Well, as
wholesome.
if by magic.
How did you know?
Oh, let me smell it. So this is alcoholic, is it?
This is.
Yes.
I'm a bit worried it won't live up to.
Oh, wow.
Smells strong.
Wait, is it a Tommy's?
Smells like a Tommy's.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for being
Cheers.
here.
Cheers. Delicious.
Ooh,
Yeah, we're good
Got a
with
nice little
that.
kick
Nice.
to
that's
it.
nice. It tastes quite medicinal.
Do you
doesn't it?
think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does actually.
It tastes a bit like I've got some Savlon or tourmaline in there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Other creams are available.
I hope there's no Savlon in
I
there.
know. Let's fingers crossed there isn't. So first of all, will you tell the pair of us how you first met?
We first met in Scotland in a very famous castle that was on the Traitors Series 3.
Edinburgh Castle. No, sorry. Carry on. No, sorry. I thought it was a game. Carry on.
And when did we actually first have a conversation? I think we all got out and then we line up and I think, were you wearing a pink blazer?
No, Freddie.
Oh no, we met on the train
the
platform. We didn't
platform.
meet in the castle.
Oh my God.
How could
Sorry,
you
I
forget?
suppressed all the trauma from that show already. But
Yeah.
yes, we met.
Do you want to get your stories straight, and we'll ask you again?
Men, they never remember the finer details.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Right?
I've
They
got
don't.
I've got it.
So
I
it was on the train.
Yeah,
was on
I
the
was on the
platform.
platform, and then you walked down
You were the
next.
second
I was the second
person,
person
with Lisa the priest.
And then you came across, and I saw
Yeah.
you, and then you said, "My name is Minah, I'm from Liverpool," and then I went. That was quite a good Liverpool
Wow.
accent.
Did I?
And then I did a Liverpool accent back to you. I
You
vaguely
did.
remember
You
it, and I
actually
was like,
did.
oh, was that really offensive? And then I
Yeah.
just-
See, I remember like the finer details. Freddie was wearing a very baby blue jumper
Yeah.
and baggy-ish jeans.
Yeah.
And I had a pink blazer on, white top and blue jeans.
My God.
I
Did it
just-
take you a while to think about what you were going to choose for that, opening first?
Yes. I chose the blue because I thought that sounds like faithful. Like, that looks like blue is like pure and innocent.
Yes.
Shaved off my moustache, my little goatee, and I thought play the baby boy, and thought that would get me far.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of did-ish.
Well, it
but-
did. It
Yeah,
did.
I mean, I just thought of like the nicest blazer I own because I
Yeah.
wanted it to look like fun but also professional, like a job interview.
Yeah, that's right, seriously, right, on our first ever read-through for
Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey, on the morning, I chose to wear a yellow thermal vest top with
Yeah.
a yellow cardigan because I thought I want to wear yellow because it's approachable,
Yes.
it's fun, it's nice, and it's happy, and that is what I wore. Did you think about what you were going to wear?
Yeah, I knew it was the mankini, and I did. And I just thought that's the way it has to be.
So the first time that you're on the platform, is that the first time you've ever seen each other?
Yeah.
Yes, like completely. Like we all get driven there, and it's like a 30-minute drive, I think, to the platform, and then we can kind of see each other like in the windows, but we haven't had a conversation ever. And then we walk to the platform, and then that's when we can start chatting to each other.
It's crazy to think that's nearly 2 years ago. Because obviously it's filmed so far in advance. And then it's been over a year since it's been on. And he's still my little bestie. Oh. Yeah, he is. He's like my little brother.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Well, let's see if we can change that by the end of the episodes. This is Sam,
Hi,
who
Sam.
cooks all our food and makes all our drinks. So you met earlier when he gave you the
This is
Tommy.
lovely.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Sam,
You have got
what are these?
Padron peppers.
I love them.
Now, I don't. If you know about Padron peppers, usually they're mild, but every now and then you get one really hot one, which feels like the traitor amongst the faithfuls. Maybe. So good
Is
luck.
there just one spicy one?
I've
or
no idea.
There could be
you'll
multiple.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it is
never
like
know
Traitors.
until you try it.
That's the reason why he said that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good,
it makes
isn't it?
sense now. Makes sense. Makes sense.
It's incredible.
I'm very slow sometimes
He
at
is
picking
not
up
just
on
a pretty
the.
face. Please tuck in, guys.
So is
These
this a
are
favourite
amazing.
of yours?
I love them. They remind me of Spain. See, my favourite food is tapas because I love when you can just try loads of things. Whereas if you go for like a main, a starter, and a dessert, which sounds mad saying now because that's what we're doing, but you're limited to how much you could enjoy. I like to try as much food as possible. Yeah.
And you're both quite hungry now. Right,
Starving.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, that's very, very good. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the application process for the Traitors?
Yeah. I mean, there's like a long document of like stuff saying, have you lied in the past? What are you good at?
We've got plenty of time. Let's start from the top. Page 1.
Matt's applying, so he needs to know.
And you just put a 1-minute video. That's the cringest thing. You do a lot of like writing, and then you've got to do a minute video going like, oh, my name's Freddie, I do this, this, and this. And I actually watched my video the other day because it came up on memories. And
So did I.
it's the worst thing I've
Crazy.
ever
Why?
seen.
What
in
did you
my-
say? What are you like?
Firstly, I changed my complete accent. I'm Essex in the video.
Really?
Like, I actually have no clue why I've done that. So when they met me, they must have been like, you don't sound like that.
Yeah.
And it was just horrific. Because you've obviously got to be kind of like, you've got to sell yourself, but it just sounds so like arrogant and cocky. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And then I got a call 20 minutes later after I applied, and they said, we'd love to have an interview of you.
What,
And I was,
20 minutes?
Yeah, I was driving to the gym, and then I got this call. They were like, hi, this is Natasha from the Traitors. And I was like, I thought it was a prank. I thought my mum was pranking me to begin with. And then she was like, no, this is real. I was like, I just submitted this like 10 minutes ago. Like,
Wow.
what is going on? And then there's loads of interviews to get through it. But yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
What was your video like?
Well, mine, I'd just come back from a run. I was still wearing my gym stuff. And I'd had a few messages to say, you need to complete your application, you need to do the video. So I said to my husband, can you just film this super quick, just one take? And I did it. And at the end, I go to Liam, do you reckon that's a minute? And he was like, don't delete that, just keep it in, because it was like 59 seconds long.
Yeah.
But I actually applied for series 2.
No way.
And I couldn't get the time off work because that was getting filmed around August, September of 24.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the time off work. So I thought, well, whatever. It's just not meant to be. I'm not like, they'd actually said to me, would you consider leaving your job? I was like, have you lost your mind? I've got nursery fees to pay for. I'm not leaving my job to go to a castle in Inverness with like 20 odd strangers.
Yeah.
So then when series 3 came around, I thought, I'll just do it again and see how you go. And that video was even more cringe. I've never showed it to you. My dog, Finn's in the video, and it pans down from like my dog to me, and I go, I'm back.
That's good.
That's what I did. Yeah. And yeah, so I think, because they were I think they were waiting for me to reply again. So I got a call back from Ricky like the next day. And then the process after that, oh my gosh. You get less for actual murder.
Really?
It's
What's
like, call after call, and you're like, am I on yet? And they're like, don't know yet. And it's like from January until the end of April, you are speaking to someone.
1 week. Like they go, you're
Less
flying
than a
out of
week.
Scotland next week. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually got a thing. I was at university as well. I was in second year university, so I had to take a month off and just be like,
Yeah.
bye guys.
God.
Some of us have like children and like
that's
actual
important too.
responsibilities. But yeah, you kind of have to get all your ducks in a row in case you are on. And then you get the call, you're on. And then it's, what have I actually done?
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Well, we
Go
met
through
each
all
other,
that.
didn't we?
Yeah,
That's what you said.
we've met. Okay, sure. We've made really good friends, and not just like Freddie and I, but like we're close with so many people from our year. But also, I am obsessed with the Traitors. Like I'm a massive fan, so I'm excited now that we're not in it. So you can
So we
actually
can
just
watch it
we can
and
just
enjoy.
enjoy it as a fan. So to be able to like think and look back and think I was part of the Traitors like family and that castle, and you see Claudia for the first time.
Mental,
it's so exciting.
undescribable
Like
feeling.
the round tables, as much as it was like the most anxiety you ever have, it was also the best time ever. Oh, it was just brilliant.
So when you get there for your first day and you're on, you get to the railway station platform and then you get to the castle and stuff, is it just all like, boom, straight away, get going and there's the round
like
table
you're just like
and...
kind of shoved into the deep end. Like they go, okay, go talk in the castle. And obviously none of us have been on like TV before, so it's such a weird thing, like all these cameras there. But then the way you just pick it up and it just becomes second nature. You just go and then you're straight in going like, oh, I think it's this person. Oh, I think it's this person.
So what does it feel like? So you all get to see each other before there's any traitors or faithfuls.
Yes.
Did you in your minds know what you wanted to be before you went in?
Yes.
Really?
I had said on every single call that I had during the application form, I have to be a traitor.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, there's no guarantees, Minah. It's decided on the day, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I have to be a traitor. So if I hadn't have been picked, because he's laughing because he knows me.
Yeah.
I think I'd have asked to go home. I've been like, something's gone wrong here. Someone
she needs
missed.
control.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a
what
bit
I
control
learned
freak.
through getting to know her. Are you a control freak? Because what was it
Massively.
about being a traitor that made you want to be one?
It's just the control. Like, I'm the type of person, if the four of us were going on holiday, I'd ask for everyone's passport. And you're all adults. But, like, I know if I've got them, then no one's going to lose it. I don't know where that stems from.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we go
Straight
on
after
holiday?
this.
Yes.
Shall we go on holiday now?
Right, we're going.
So you knew right from the beginning what you wanted to be.
That's what I wanted, yeah.
What about you? What were you thinking?
I was like, oh, I'll be like either one. I don't really mind. And then I kept saying in interviews, I'd be like, I'll be a faithful. Like, I can't lie. Like, it's just not for me. And then I got there and I was sat with Claudia. And then in the split second, I was like, oh, can I be a traitor? Obviously did not sell it at all. I was like, oh, can I be a traitor? And then doing that, when we sat in the round table and they put the blindfold on and then they go to tap you on the shoulder, I was like, if she taps me on the shoulder, I'm going to like throw up everywhere and the game's going to be over before it's even started. Like I actually felt my heart coming out of my chairs. So like it was dreadful. And she walks around like so many times. Like her steps are just like that. And I was like, if you tap me on the shoulder now, I'm going to have to like maybe go get an ambulance or something because I can't do this. And then she didn't tap me and I was like, oh, thank God, because I was like, there's no way I could have done that. So respect to Minah, because like Minah just takes it off, like, oh, nothing. I would have been like sweating.
You were just so cool.
Right.
I mean,
I feel like you'll both know this as actors. In my head, it was an audition for like a film, right? Now, I'm not an actor. I've never acted apart from acting the fool. But I was like, if ever I'm going to audition for a role, this is it. So in my head, I was a faithful acting as a traitor. And that's how I was able to like separate the two. And I feel like now I should be in a film because I was believable. Anyone?
Honestly, you were amazing.
The route for self-promotion is incredible. I absolutely love this.
Nobody ever was suspicious of you. You were just like so brilliant.
Yeah.
But you know when you're there and you're around the table, how long does that go on for?
Oh,
Joe, it feels like a lifetime. You'd rather be in labour. Honestly, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And because we aren't allowed to wear watches, we're not allowed phones.
we don't have the time.
There's no clocks anywhere. That's like a little exclusive. But you can't even ask the people who are working on the show what time it is. They'll tell you things like, it doesn't matter, or it's just part of the game, just be in the moment.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
very controlling. I bet you had a
I was like,
that.
tell me the time, or I'll murder you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't know, but it felt like the first few, at least 2 hours.
yeah,
like,
because there's 25 people
my
at the start, and
God.
you're all, obviously you want to speak and give your opinion, and then obviously that you go back and then you go forward. It takes forever, and then especially if you're like on the receiving end of a lot of people going, it's
Horrendous.
You,
Oh,
it's
God, that must be so hard.
horrific. Like people will just go, it's you, and you're there going like, it's actually, especially when it's not you.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I was like, what is given this thing? And then you think they're attacking your character, but they're obviously not. It's just a game. But it just feels very personal, and then it goes like crazy. I remember when. Like,
we will be attacking your character. By dessert, we will be. I will be going in.
Freddie will cry.
Yeah, good. We do aim for tears, not of joy.
Well, you picked the right person then. So I remember when I was like crying, and then this is how good of an actor she is. I look up to her and she goes, "Is it you?" Obviously, she knows it's not me. I'm there like in tears, and she's also got tears because she's a bit upset that I'm crying. She goes, "Is it you?" Knowing that it's obviously not me, and I go, "No." And
Freddie, you're making me sound like I should be locked up somewhere that's not here.
Yeah, in a film studio.
I'm ready.
With an international agent. Apparently.
That was really hard. That's one of my very standout moments as well.
Yeah.
Because everyone was gunning for Freddie, and obviously as a traitor, you're just waiting for those moments where they're going for another faithful because it's not you and it's not one of your own. But I just felt so sorry for him when he was crying. He was like pleading his case and everyone was like, liar. And I looked at him and I was like, is it you? And he went, no. The ugliest crying face you can imagine. But then I then burst out crying too and I was like,
that sounds very dramatic.
The mum in me felt really guilty because I just thought, that's someone's boy. You know, that's not.
But the actor in you felt alive.
Was it easy to just like shut off? And did you know, right, I've got a job to do. I've just got to. Well, were there any moments where or did you have to just be on it all the time? Was it exhausting? Because you wake up the next day, you go in, and are you just constantly just on it?
You know what? I think on reflection, I didn't realise how much I was holding my breath until I was banished. Because as soon as I left, I couldn't go back to see anyone. Oh my God, unreal.
Oh, what is it?
Nice.
Still one more thing to come.
All right.
Okay.
Can I?
Yourself.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Sam. Freddie, you said earlier you received the call about the Traitors when you were on the way to the gym.
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to the gym as a regular gym goer. You must think about food quite a lot.
Yes.
What would be the most ideal thing that Sam could bring out now?
For a gym goer, maybe like something really meaty, protein based, like steak or like chicken.
Chicken.
Oh, funny you should ask.
That's how you do it. Oh, this is
with bacon as well. Even
that looks unreal.
And we're leaning into the Scottish theme.
Is that haggis?
It's haggis, wrapped in chicken breast, wrapped in bacon, and then cooked. And we've got a whiskey sauce. The alcohol will be cooked out, Scottish. And then we've got rumbledy thumps, which is swede, potato and cabbage.
This is incredible.
Baked with cheese on top.
This is amazing.
Sam and I are huge Scotophiles. We love Scotland. And he didn't tell me about this. I'm very, very excited.
I've actually never had haggis in my life. So
have you not?
This is going to be
Let's go. This is the first.
Wow.
This looks unreal.
So are you a fan of potatoes?
Oh.
Mina did when we went
Me and potatoes are best
when you did that
friends.
roast dinner, she was like, no one touched the potatoes. I am doing control freak again. And she was like, and they were really good potatoes, to be fair.
I've had so many people talk to me about my roast potatoes. They are probably the best in the world. I know Matt's thinking, this woman loves herself. But yes,
I'm thinking I love you, actually.
What's your technique? What do you do with them?
So,
Matt, dish up.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I bring them to a boil. As soon as the water's boiling, it's exactly 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's very important because you don't want them to go too mushy. And then you drain them, give them a little shake. Then I'll mix flour, salt, pepper, thyme, mustard powder, garlic granules, and rosemary, like dry rosemary. Shake that on the potatoes. The secret with the goose fat or duck fat, whatever you're using, only put half of it in, get the other half on a pan on the heat, and then you pour it on top instead of trying to like baste the potatoes.
Yes.
Then you put them in, don't touch them until they can move by themselves.
Oh, nice.
If you were to do that, can I watch?
Yeah.
Thanknow.
Will you just
Out the window, but yeah, you can.
Well.
Because I think that adds a little bit of like fun creepiness to it. You know? Or is that not where you...
Are saying that was creepy?
Are we on two different pages? Sorry.
I was just wanted to marvel at your culinary skills.
No, let's do it.
So
I
what
love
have we got
food.
here?
Shall I serve you a bit of this?
Yes,
Please.
lovely.
What's this?
Dumps.
Rumbledy thumps.
Rumbledy thumps. Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
And I love cabbage.
I like cabbage.
So there's potatoes, cabbage, and something else.
Thumps.
Oh, didn't he say Swede or something?
Sweet.
Amazing.
Oh, fab. Oh, gosh, thank you.
I'm excited to try this.
Yeah,
This looks
and the
so
whiskey
nice.
sauce.
Have some of this whiskey sauce.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do you want to go first, Minah?
Yeah, thank you.
It's okay.
So potato is your top carb, is it?
It's my favourite. If there was ever...
I'm assuming it's its versatility that you...
Well, yeah,
so
because
enthralled by.
you can have it as a snack, crisps.
You can.
You can have it on a night out, chips.
Correct.
You can have it in the winter, mashed potato.
Yes, please.
Right? See, I'm giving you guys seasons as well.
Yeah.
You can have it in the
Yeah.
summer, salad potato.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
It goes on. Dauphinoise
Yes.
potatoes, sauté potatoes.
The square ones. The
Yeah,
square
what are
ones.
those? What are they called?
Parmentier.
There you go.
I like those ones.
And what I like, I don't actually know what they're called, but they're like thinly sliced potatoes, then squashed together and then fried like a big chip, but it's like layers.
Oh, I know.
I had them once somewhere in London.
What is
they
that
were gorge.
called?
Potato.
Sam,
We need you.
Oh, can you pass that
Sam,
over a
can we
bit?
get him in? He'll know.
Oh, cheers, thanks.
And if he doesn't,
There.
he's got
you.
access to Google.
Yeah, they're really nice.
So what were your first impressions of each other? When you first, met and chatted, what were your first impressions?
I thought Minah was really lovely.
Tell the truth.
And then we start, when we do missions, they do like a rule read, so they read you the rules of the mission.
Yeah.
And control freak Minah was quite bossy when the rule reads came on. And I would be like, I didn't understand that. Could you go over it again? And she would just look at me in disgust, like I didn't understand what was going on.
What did you name me in Traitors?
Head teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He started calling me the head teacher, him and the other young ones. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even that much older than Freddie, but he was like, oh, head teacher's coming out. But they weren't, it's not that they needed more instructions, they weren't listening to it.
Yes.
And I think the mum and me just came out and thought, well, you just listen to the rules.
Yeah.
I just thought Freddie was fun and nice. I don't know if I thought much. I think we've just, because we've gone close, we've grown closer since Inverness. Now I just think he's the best friend that you can have.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel and I'm not stereotyping, but sometimes men are not as good at checking in as women are, you know, as far as friendships or family members. Freddie's that person who will message on a Monday in a group chat, did everyone have a nice weekend?
Oh.
How are the kids, Leanne? How are the kids, Minah? Or Jake, how's your dog? And he's the youngest one in our little group, but he's always the one doing the checking in. That's my favourite thing about him.
I think
thank
that's
you.
why we were all so heartbroken, though, when he got recruited and then thrown under the bus straight away. Well, he did cock up. You did cock up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
what
did.
did you think when he ended up saying,
Well, first-
oh, no, you weren't there. You weren't there.
Exactly. And he said, Minah told me. I was like,
Yes.
Freddie, get my name out of your mouth. I've been
Oh my
banished.
God, can't
I'm on the
believe
way
that.
back to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, Minah told me. I just felt
Oh
so
my
sorry
God.
for him.
Yeah.
Because for so long, everyone thought he was a traitor. And to go out as a traitor, I
I
thought,
know.
It was,
oh,
it was
that's
actually the
unfair.
worst thing I've ever
Because he couldn't
experienced.
even really explain. They all just assumed that you didn't.
Yeah, so when you when you become a traitor, you sign this oath thing that you can't say when you were recruited or whatever. So when I said it, I wasn't. I remember I left the circle where you say I'm a traitor,
Yeah.
and then burst into tears in the other room that's not on camera. And it wasn't because I lost or anything. It was because I was like, Frankie and Leanne especially are going to think that I've been lying to them from the start. And I was like, this is heartbreaking. I was like, someone needs to tell them now that it's been a day.
Yeah.
Obviously, for the game wise, you're not allowed to do that, so they don't know when I got recruited or whatever. But it was
It was
the worst day ever.
heartbreaking.
But
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. And I remember that day I just kind of gave up. I was like, do you know what?
Yeah.
I've had a good time. I've had a good run. I didn't actually expect to make it.
Did you know they were coming for you?
Yeah. It was so no one, not that no one really speaks to you, but you walk in a room, people kind of go quiet because they've obviously been it's Freddie, it's Freddie.
God.
And I was like, guys, it's fine. We can just have
Yeah.
fun for our last go.
Can you tell,
You can tell.
when your time
Yeah,
is coming
you
to
know.
an end?
Yeah, I
You
was
know.
talking to someone about this recently, and traitor or faithful, you know when the air is shifted and it's shifted towards you.
Yeah.
And there is almost that thing of people don't want to talk to you. But it makes sense because if we think Matt's the traitor, then we need to be able to confirm that without him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And then you
Yeah.
take it to the round table. So that does naturally happen where you do feel ostracized. I was a traitor. And on the last day, I was like, today is the day. I can feel
Did
it.
you know?
Oh my God.
I could feel it. And then you almost give up a bit.
Yeah.
Guys, this is amazing.
Good, isn't it?
Oh
Tasty.
my
Really
I quite
God.
like the haggis. I'm surprised.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
that home with me if
Yeah,
that's
the
okay.
rumbly thumps. Yeah,
the
you
rumbly
will.
thumbs, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely delicious. Upon leaving Traitors, you've been given lots of different opportunities. How have you embraced them? Because presumably your life has sort of changed
quite a bit,
quite significantly since going on the show.
I always say, like, for me, like, I was at university, so coming out of I graduated like just like in June. So I was like, if I can get opportunities or like maybe get a job out of this or do something quite exciting that's just like, because at school you're not really taught like how you can't really go down this route, and then you get a platform like this. I'm like trying to use it to the best of my ability. So I thought it was quite easy for me because I didn't have a job to go back to. But for people like Minah and that, it's like you actually have like full-time careers that you've been doing, and it's then you've got to be like, do I take the risk and go for it, or do you not?
Yeah.
And you've taken the risk, which is a really good thing.
I have. I left my job in November.
Yes.
Which
What
every
did you
day.
do?
I am an expert in car insurance, so if you have an accident, ring me before you ring your insurance, and I'll tell you what to say and what not to. I'm joking. But no, I'd worked there for 9 years, and I thought I was going to work there forever. Really great company. And yeah, I'm really good at the job. Again, it sounds like I love myself, Matt. I'm sorry, but I was really good at the job. So
I can't say I'm surprised.
So to go on to Traitors and then have like, first of all, such a lovely reception from like the nation. Like I just didn't expect it. Everyone's been so kind and so like lovely towards me, and you meet people and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's Minah from the Traitors. I'm like, I've watched, like being here with you guys, like I've watched you on my telly. It's so weird, like now speaking to you. But yeah, it's been so much fun. Like I did radio at uni because I wanted to be a radio presenter, but I was the only girl on my course, and I just felt a little bit like, it's not for girls.
Yeah.
And so I went into car insurance. Why, I don't know. It's probably the first job that I applied for. So like falling back in love with radio now has been really nice. And I've been,
because you're working for Radio 1 now.
Yes, that's
which
been
is quite extraordinary.
I know.
That's
amazing.
I know, it's insane.
When did you start? What are you doing?
In
How are
May.
you finding it?
Yeah, so I started in May, and I did early breakfast, which every presenter, you start off by doing early breakfast. And I've just done loads with them over the summer, festivals, Halloween, working with Ricky, Melvin and Charlie, working with the group chat, bits with Greg on the breakfast show. So I'm like covering as and when it's needed.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And hopefully once I take one of them out.
Yeah. I tell
You know?
Proper Traitors.
You know what I mean? I've got to pass.
You will do it. You will do it.
Yeah, but they've just been amazing. You know, to go into
Don't
a
be
space...
surprised if it's a car accident.
To go into a space where everyone's like really established and everyone's so kind and like encouraging, like everyone at Radio 1's just like, you're doing great. Like if you need anything, I'm always here, from the producers to the presenters. That's been amazing.
And your family must be so proud.
They are. Apart from my little girl, she's like, will you just move out the way and put Peppa Pig on?
Oh,
But she's
how
3.5,
old is she?
so she's like,
Not bothered.
although the last
Well, she's
few
keeping
months,
it real for you.
Yeah.
she started like talking about Traitors. I think people are just saying it a
Really?
lot around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so she'll say things like, Mummy, when do you get banished? I'm like, well, it's already happened, babe. I've been banished.
Yeah.
And we put the first episode on for her a while ago, and she was like, so when do you get banished? And I was like, Luna, stop praying for my downfall. It's only episode 1, you know? But yeah, it's really cute. She is so funny. She's got like this Traitors Search and Find book. And some nights she's like, can we read this tonight? And I'm like, this is not for bedtime. This is really not really appropriate. She's like, but I want to read the Traitors book.
She's the cutest kid in the world. She has the most strongest Scouse accent ever.
Hasn't she?
And she's so adorable.
She's always sending Freddie and Leanne like little videos and messages. But yeah, but she's
And you're
funny.
still in Liverpool.
Yeah.
But do you feel like there might come a point where you'd need to be down here?
You know what? No.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I love Liverpool. Like, obviously I wasn't born in Liverpool, but it's the longest place I've lived, and I've always like referred to myself as the adopted Scouser. I just think Scousers are the best people ever. Like, I think a lot of my confidence comes from how long I've been in Liverpool. Like, there's so much confidence in the air with everyone, and everyone's so friendly and so nice. And also the train's like 2 hours long to London, so... Yeah, no.
I don't think you need to live like in London these days.
Not
do you?
anymore, no.
No.
Yeah.
Also, isn't the Radio 1 quarters in Manchester?
As well, yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah.
There's some in
Just
London.
over the
some in
way.
Manchester.
Yeah,
So it's not
so-
too bad for you.
Yeah.
She's now moving.
Yeah.
Not unless someone wants to like give me a house for free, then you know.
Funny you should say that.
Imagine. You know when you're filming and you have to do your bits for, you know, when they're, you know, seeing what's going to happen and you're in your rooms and then you're either, you know, doing a jigsaw or having a shower or brushing your hair, or how do you decide what you're going to do?
Yes, Freddie, how did you decide to have a shower?
I turned up to the bit where you film it, like in one of the castle rooms, and there's no discussion before of what you're doing or whatever. They obviously give you like, they can be like, do you want to do it or whatever. Yeah. I walk in there's 3 men behind a camera, and then the woman goes, here's some swimming shorts. I said,
oh my God.
I said, sorry, because I was like, I thought this was like a PG like show, and she was like, oh, we want you to get in the shower, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm the sort of person that's quite a people pleaser. I was like, well, yeah, sure, whatever. Quickly do a few sit-ups. I was like, okay, we'll go in the shower. And it was honestly the weirdest experience. Like having like, we were there for like half an hour and me just pretending to like wash myself and people just like videoing me, and I was like, this is so weird.
And that was the BBC.
That was the BBC.
Freddie, did you just say you have to do push-ups before?
Do some sit-ups to make sure that
oh,
my
did
abs
you?
were like...
To get it all...
Get it. I was like, if I'm doing it, I'm going big or
Thank God they didn't ask me as I've tripped over myself.
What about you?
She didn't do one.
Traitors don't do them.
God, yes.
But on the days that they're filmed, they said to you, like, you have to bring something because people will say, oh, what did you do for your, like, whatever they're called. So I brought the diary that I was writing in.
Yeah.
And it was my actual diary that I was writing in after every night. I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And so I told one of the production teams, and they were like, maybe you shouldn't have brought that to the castle.
Oh my
because
God, yes,
what if someone finds
it
and you're like, killed such and such last night?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so then I was like, why am I such an idiot?
So what would happen in the evening? So when you were all saying goodbye and then you walk out and whatever, do you just have to walk round the back and just wait? Or what would they do with the traitors?
So like we go one by one.
Yeah,
so we're all
one by
together, demiked, and we're just like, everyone's like, God, I hope I make it to tomorrow. and then you still have to pretend.
You're mimicking that. That's actually how we all felt. Like, going, oh, I'm
but like as a traitor,
back.
there's no break because you still have to pretend. You're like, yeah, gosh, I just don't know if I'll make it. And it's just like, Minah, you know you're going to make it because you can't kill yourself. One by one we go. And then, you know, if I get called, then I have to go somewhere else and then wait for everyone else to go. And then,
God, how long would you stay behind filming for?
It takes ages. I think
I don't know, but it was ages.
When I was it for the one day that I was, I was like, how have you been doing this for like so many days?
It is very tiring.
I was knackered. I think you probably end filming at like, I don't know, maybe like 11, 12 on a good day.
Oh my God.
But then if you're a traitor, I'm thinking you're getting to bed at like 3 a.m. Like it's a long thing.
Yeah,
I remember
so
being
After they filmed you in the bath.
And I was just like, oh my God, like I want to go home. Like, I was like, this is not fun at all. And then I remember when I like got recruited to be a traitor, so everyone went one by one, and then I was just sat in waiting to go because I was thinking I'm just going to go home like normal. And then one of the ladies comes in and goes, we're really sorry, your taxi driver can't make it. And I'm just there thinking, I literally not thinking anything. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, do you want to come do some interviews while we wait? And I was like, no, I don't, I'm tired. I was like, can I just sit here? And she was like, no, I really think you should go to the interview. And me being the night, still not thinking anything. I was like, oh, fine, whatever, we'll go talk, whatever. I walk in, and then there's the letter there going.
Oh my God,
and I
really?
literally jumped out of my socks.
Did you think you'd
So
been
is that
murdered?
what they do?
Yeah.
They surprise you like that?
Yeah, and like, because we don't know, so like, we don't know when the murdering happens or like when things. So there was a letter there, and then she was like, she just opened it and she smiled at me, and I thought,
oh my God.
You just pretended to me that we're just like, this is normal. I opened the letter and it goes, your presence is requested in the dungeon or whatever.
Dungeon?
I'm sat there going, what? It's like 1 a.m. Like,
Oh my God.
Like, I'm half asleep. And then I sit there for like 10 minutes, I have to read it and like figure out what it is, whatever. And I was like, well, I'm either getting murdered or they're going to ask me to be a traitor. And I was like, if they ask me to be a traitor, I'm going to be like fuming. And then I walked down to the dungeon, do that, and she was like, join me or you die. And I was like, well, I'm not going to choose to die, am I? And then that's basically how it happened. And it was on the longest night of like my life.
Oh my God. And then when you woke up the next morning, were you just like, oh God, were you
What
scared?
now?
Yeah, no, literally, I was petrified because like the whole time I've been fighting my case saying it's not me. And then I go in the next day, like walk into the breakfast table, and I'm literally like shaking, and I'm like, no. And then I walked in with Frankie as well, and I was like, oh, this is the person that I'm like my favourite here, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
and then it all just came crashing down and burned.
You were a dreadful traitor.
It was really bad. It was bad. But that's a good thing when you flip it around.
Yes, it is. What are the breakfasts like?
Lovely. I actually used to just stuff my face with like pain au chocolat. People would be like debating who it was. I was like, let me have some pain au chocolats first.
Yeah. Is there just loads?
There's
and is
loads.
it warm? And is it nice? And how long does breakfast go on for?
Beautiful. That also is probably like by the time everyone's come in, I wouldn't be surprised if it's over an hour.
Really?
Because you've got to think, people come in and then we have chat. And it's longer than what you see. And then the next group of people come in, more chat.
Yeah.
It just goes on.
But I've always thought, do you cotton on to? Because it's now got to the point where you know the last 2 or 3 people coming in at the end of breakfast is being kind of between them.
Yeah.
And do you know that when you're filming or not?
It's a weird one because when you watch it on a TV screen, I'm the same. I'm like, well, it's obviously those 3 are faithful. But when you're in there, you obviously don't know how I know they've done it like every year, but they could just change it.
Yeah.
And if you put all your eggs in that basket, being like, well, they're not.
And sometimes they will throw it in where a traitor comes in last.
Yes.
Sam, oh my gosh, this was
good.
amazing.
This was great, thank you.
You can move into my house. You really can.
And you're in Liverpool. I like Liverpool.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
great. That's done.
Thank you.
Yep.
He's left you for me.
Wow.
I'm really fickle.
Sorry, carry on.
Desserts, right? So we're going to move on to dessert now. Now, Minah, you've already said you're not going to do a dessert.
No. That's traitor behaviour.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I said
something there,
if there was an option, if I didn't have the option for 3 courses and I could only have 2, I would always do starter and main because I'm a savoury gal.
Okay.
But there's 3 options and I know there is, so I'm going to do all 3.
And to be fair, the starter was padron peppers. And
They don't count.
Yes.
It's not much, it's not really a course, is it?
It's not.
So if we
liver pate.
let me ask you, what could Sam walk out of with now that would make your day in terms of a dessert?
Anything chocolate. Like, it just has to have chocolate in it. Personally, hopefully you get that, Sam. Just something chocolate. That's like my go-to
I'm not sure
for
you
pudding.
could do it that quickly.
Okay, but
you never know, Minah.
I don't want to upset Sam, but my favourite dessert is a sticky toffee pudding.
Oh.
Well, let's see what it is.
I haven't. So.
But
this
looks
thought
real.
nice, though.
We would go for something reminiscent of a traitor's breakfast. So it's got the pastries, we've got the croissants, we've got fruit.
Wait, is that a croissant?
Yeah, so it's like a bread and butter pudding, but with croissants.
Nice.
And frangipans, so like lots of almonds. And some raspberries.
This
Trapped
is
in.
healthy.
That's
Thank
Scottish.
you, Sam.
Yeah. What the nuts?
No problem.
No, the
Enjoy.
raspberries.
I need to get into news, don't I?
The nuts.
And as we serve up
This looks unreal.
This looks well good.
tell us what's coming up for you guys.
I've done a few bits for
Thank you
kids
kindly.
presenting with CBBC and that sort of stuff because that's kind of what I want to go into. So just trying to pursue that, doing like interviewing and presenting sort of stuff and doing that. I think we're both kind of similar in that aspect. I think that's why we talk a lot as well. Because we're like, what we're doing to get in, stuff like that, and then just that sort of stuff really.
So you're doing TV presenting and you're continuing to work with Radio 1.
That's it. Yeah. So I'm currently working with Horne Live. I'm their Traitors correspondent.
Nice.
So that's been a lot of fun.
So what do you think makes a good faithful and a good traitor? Because say you're in there, can you see glimpses of eyes and can you see body, what's it called? Body language change.
Good faithful is you want to got to be in between, like being a little bit suspicious so you don't get murdered. Because if you're like completely faithful, you're going to get murdered, so there's no point. And then you've got to also be a bit like with points and stuff like that, but not too high. It's a very fine line. You've got to be like middle ground sort of vibe, or you got to find a traitor straight away and then be really good friends with them and just like try and get one over them. And it's honestly the best feeling when you get someone out. So when I got this lovely lady out when we were. It was like the best fit. Like I loved Minah, but I was like, when she said I'm a traitor, you just feel like the smartest person in the world. I was like, I'm so clever. There was like 5 of us left. It had to be one of us. So, I'm not like I've just solved a massive case, but I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And you just feel like, oh, I did that. I did that.
Yeah.
It was great.
Do you feel like as the show goes on into further series, that it may diminish in the way that Big Brother did, so that you sort of get to understand how people play the game or how the game is played, and that informs the way that new contestants approach it. Do you think that will affect
I
them?
always worry about that because it does happen with all reality TV shows. Like I remember like Love and Love Island the first few years, and then it kind of changes and you kind of see people's intentions of going on the show. They change. It changes.
And then it will then get after it, whether like,
it changes from just like a scruffy bun up to like full glam every day in a swimming costume. But I think with Traitors, the thing that sets it apart ever so slightly is that they just keep changing it. So when we went there, in my head, the only thing that I thought was going to be different or was going to be a surprise is like someone might go when we see Claudia. But if you remember, Alexander, Fauzier and Jack didn't even make it to the castle. We were on the train. When that happened, and in my carriage, everyone was like, oh, something's happening. I went, no, guys, I think the train's just like broke because it's a bit old. And they were like, no, Minah, something's happening. And I was like, no, we're not at the castle yet. Nothing can happen now.
Surprises.
Secret Traitor.
Check. It was a reality
The Secret
check.
Traitor this year, a big surprise for the Traitors because I think that really threw them off their game and unsettled them quite a lot. And I know I would have been the same if I was picked as a traitor and then there's a secret traitor. I'd been like, well, I'm supposed to be the one with the control now. Someone else has the control.
I would be annoyed,
If they keep changing it year from year, then I don't see how it can get stale because people going on might expect something, but then it can completely different to what you're expecting.
And like a murder mystery as well. I just feel like it's a different type of show to other reality TV. I know it's a reality TV show, but like the concept of like murder, who doesn't love Cluedo and stuff like that, there's ways about it that, again, you can change it constantly and that sort of thing makes it so exciting for the audience and that. So I don't think it will, I think it's at its peak right now, but I don't ever see it really like getting, because each person that plays it is going to be different to the other people before that as well. So it just depends how much the producers want to like change it. And
also, they just get normal people from the UK. You know, it's not typecast, it's not
or
extrovert, normal people and a psychopath. But it's like, you know, you've got 70-year-olds, you've got 19-year-olds, you've got lawyers, you've got soldiers, you've got, you know, writers, you've got every kind of person represented in a way. So I feel like the way they cast it, I don't know if that could happen where people are going in for different reasons because the type of person to apply to that show, I think just loves that show. So I hope that stays
and
forever.
I think they can see that when they like, try and cast you. And also I will always say, like, I remember I was the youngest there at 20 and then Linda was the oldest at 70. In what world would our paths ever cross except from being in this castle? And she's amazing. And just like getting to speak to someone who's lived such a different life to like me because she's in a different generation, it was like amazing. Or even like being like best friends with like Minah and that, like there's, not to throw you under the bus, there's like 10 years between us. So
is there?
It's 11, no 10.
11?
No 10. But again, I probably wouldn't cross paths with her because we're different ages and that sort of stuff.
You know, with Linda, because I mean, as a viewer watching, as soon as she sort of like turned her head and just her behaviour throughout it anyway, I mean, it was so hilarious and she was so sweet and so lovely. But watching, you could tell straight away that she was a traitor. But being in there, was it as obvious?
I promise you, it was not obvious at all.
It wasn't.
Really?
I think I always looked at it like she was an opera singer, like she was already theatrical, so I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't know each other before we go in there, so however she acts, I just got to take it as like that's who she is. And then just watching like all the memes about her and like saying how obvious it was, I was like, it was never this obvious. And I used to always be like, if I vote for her, this like lovely 70-year-old woman, and she gets up and says, I'm a faithful, I'm gonna feel like evil. And I was like, I'm not writing her name unless like we're all like we're convinced. And then as the math started to slip, we were like,
oh my God.
Kind of
and I think more people thought it was Lisa versus Linda.
Yes,
because obviously they're both a bit older than most of us. But Lisa revealed that she was a priest, and then everyone was like, she's lying. She's not actually a priest.
Yeah.
And then I remember Leanne was like, that woman is a liar. She's not a priest. And that is fancy dress. And I was like, Leanne, it's not fancy dress. If she's saying she's a priest, she's a priest. But I feel like I remember the first time Jake said that she turned her head. And I asked Linda in the turret, I was like, did you turn your head? She was like, good God, no, I didn't. And I was like, yeah, okay, sounds. I didn't see it, so it didn't happen. And then when it aired, I messaged her and I was like, Linda, you fully just turned your head. She's like, I must have forgotten. It's brilliant.
Well, guys, car insurance's loss is Hollywood's gain. Thank you both for being here and coming on this journey with us today. Now, you both were very successful playing the game of Traitors. we've got an extraordinary game to play with you at the end of this episode, and Joe is going to describe to you what it is.
We're going to have 2 sets of spaghetti each, and in 30 seconds or a minute?
1 minute.
In 1 minute, we are going to see who can build the tallest spaghetti tower.
I know what you're thinking. What a game. The losers get to do the washing up.
Yes, and the winners basically get to sit here and do the outro for our podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No pressure.
So
Minah.
that's
We have to win.
Hollywood's calling. Let's
that
go.
is the that is the consequence.
Yeah, you're building it together in a team. That's your sellotape. I'm going to put
I
those.
think you do the
There's
Put those
sellotape.
there.
different
Get
types
out.
of spaghetti. You've got whole wheat.
I can't.
Should we
You've
just
got
tip it all out
cheap
on
stuff.
the
Do you want me to just
Let's
chip
get
it
the
out?
spaghetti out.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Should we just actually give them half?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we've just
Yeah.
got
Oh, they're
like
different
equal.
colours.
Are you counting them?
No, I've already counted them.
Matt, I feel like you've got 3 more than us.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got more.
I beg to differ.
So the highest one, yeah?
I don't
The highest
I
tower.
don't really-
Freddie,
you-
you've got a
I-
degree. Just hide, okay? So just do like... Oh, you wrap it.
Are we going? Are
we
we going? Are we
starting?
going?
Right,
Are we
count it.
planning?
Jenga.
Wrap it fast.
Right, what far?
Oh,
This needs to be strong.
On your mark, get set, go!
Faster.
Go.
Freddie,
Right, come on.
you...
Right, and this is
Right?
Yeah, I know what you
Now
need.
stop.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Right,
I'll
so
see
you
it.
get that going.
So it's
place.
a bit
Right,
like
I'll get
Plunk,
small
but
bits.
formed.
No, higher towards
So
the
that's
top.
okay.
Oh my god.
Are you good at anything?
That's got display.
Oh my god.
Are you messing?
I know.
Hold on. It's
Right.
a marathon, not a sprint.
I know, but
Freddie.
I'm...
Freddie,
You've got to let it go.
Yeah, let it
No.
go.
That was
Up
it.
here.
No, you've got to sellotape this.
Oh, right, shit.
higher.
Just go like this.
Yeah, but it needs to be tight. More towards here.
Jesus, come on.
Freddie,
Right,
no,
I'm going to do that.
no,
Extra
stop,
bit
stop,
there. Right,
stop.
so do that bit and then we'll concentrate.
I need more here, just
Wow.
around here, where the 2 connect.
I'm feeling incredibly
tighter.
unstable myself, actually.
Okay?
But that is emotionally
okay.
and mentally.
That
Stop.
is cool. Do that tight and then we need to concentrate on the bottom. Right, concentrate to stand. So get it in there. Get it in
There. Yeah. I've just snapped a few.
Oh, right.
Get it in. Get it in.
Don't do too
them all
hard because
based
they'll
like they're
snap.
doing.
They're gonna snap.
Jesus, it's higher. Matt, come on. Matt, no. Matt.
Yeah, but it's not standing up. That's going to go.
Wait.
Wait.
What the hell? Why is it
That's not standing
it's
up.
On her hand. It's on
Ignore my hand.
No, she lies.
Lean it.
Hey, Joe, the lies are behind me.
You're...
Now look at that.
There you go.
Now look at that.
I've come to be judge.
Wait a minute.
Right, just wait. Wait a minute.
I think
Excuse me, Matt.
yeah.
The
You're
time
very smart
went
for a
about
large
2
service
hours
area.
ago.
You were
Okay?
using your palm.
What did you study in university?
Politics. Look, this doesn't really help me in this.
Oh,
Oh, now, my God, that is
Stand,
amazing.
to be fair.
but you kept going after you.
Yes.
Yeah.
After you were told to
So
stop.
you were disqualified.
So that means we win, just through
Yeah.
disqualification.
I think it's quite traitorous what the
Someone's
way in
got to
which you
find-
won.
bend the rules a little.
but-
Freddie, we're doing the outro.
Oh, my God. That's your fault.
Last time I did it, I came up with a really funny line, and then the mic didn't work. So we've got to re-record it.
Oh, my
All sorts of
God.
problems.
I'm gutted.
How often do you do the washing up?
Every time.
Often.
And we've only had to not do it once. Basically, we lose every bloody time.
Oh.
Every time. And most of the time, I'd say it's Matt's fault.
I thought it was very clever though, this like bottom bit here. I will say.
Do you know, right? As soon as I was thinking about that from quite early on, and I thought, splay it. If we get it, split,
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
a kaplunk, is that it?
Well, I didn't realise that I couldn't hold on to it, so I just thought
Yeah.
go higher up and higher up.
I mean, it's standing.
I think we were always destined to lose. We're playing against 2 traitors.
Yeah.
We
One
were
and a
always
half.
destined.
But
One and a half.
One and a half.
quarter.
One and a half.
That's one word for them.
Yeah.
Thank
then-
you so much. You guys are
Thank you.
gorgeous.
You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us,
us.
guys, and thank you for feeding us.
Yes.
Sam is a
Brilliant.
real one.
Yeah.
He's good, isn't he?
He's a good egg. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining us on today's Table for Four.
Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you're listening.
Now, the spaghetti game, I had completely forgotten
Yeah.
how competitive you are. I was completely blindsided by the word splay, because you said it so much. Splay, 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 splay,
Splay
splay.
it, Matt.
That's
Matt,
all I could
splay
hear.
it.
Splay it, Matt, splay it. We need to start talking about who's going to sponsor us. Le Creuset.
Yeah, who is? Who's going to?
Le Creuset.
You should have splayed it on time. You were late with the splaying.